cross-rail challenge. And so what we bring you is cross-check. Now, basically, our aim for the weekend was to try to solve the problem that cross-rail presented us with in a way that is able to be implemented as soon as possible. And what we've been able to develop this weekend are a few things, which include a native application and also a web application that I used to demonstrate the multi-platform functionality of our solution. A dashboard, which will be a continuation of the previous Hackathon solution, which we believe can help in terms of its database capabilities. Also a web services API, which will integrate with the facilities management systems that are around, such as Phantom. And also we are incorporating point cloud spatial applications in order to explore the retrofitting possibilities that come from our solution. So I'm just going to hand over to Tim now, who will take you through.
Okay. Last year, at the AEC, first AEC Hackathon in London, fantastic time we all had. We managed to produce this, which was using the Autodesk Web API, where we installed the model, the BIM model, onto their servers in their servers, which I believe were in America at that time, and we successfully connected the objects in the model to the product library. The product library was an application that we had, and we used the API that the product library has to then produce another interface, another application that accessed two APIs at the same time, and actually brought back the data from the product library, which also brought back the maintenance information as well, and all the other information that we actually did. So, what have we done further? We've taken that on further. With this challenge here, the challenge here is that we've got a data source from a client, and they've got an API. Now, Crossrail provided a spreadsheet that was sent by their API, so one of our guys actually wrote a web service so that we could simulate that. We already have an asset information model application, which we can take and manage the data for a number of buildings, not just one building at a time. And from that, we then developed a dashboard that we could then say, okay, with all these assets that we actually collect from different sources, we can actually create a dashboard where we can start the inspection process. This is as much about process as it is about the application. So from the process, we get the application manager, the manager, defining what tasks somebody's got to do, whether it's going out and inspecting something or doing regular maintenance, whatever, they get a set of tasks to do. And then those tasks then get onto a mobile application which has a low-cost database, because these people are going to be working in a way that doesn't necessarily allow them to work real time, and they can start to do their stuff, and they can upload at any time through the process or at the end of the process that they've done it. Right.
So we just have this little video here where we're demonstrating that it's the task being assigned. So effectively, there's an inspection that needs to be done and checked, and we can see a list effectively being created that is allocated to the room that where the inspection is supposed to be done. So here you have your supervisor telling the engineer to go inspect this room for its fire alarm systems, and this is the room that I'm supposed to go inspect. And there you go. Here's where you're supposed to go, and then there should be a list that's generated in terms of the assets that are there. Now then, when you finish this, what we will go on to is that you can see exactly that. You get the application and you take it out with you, and as the engineer, you go through and gives you a list of things that you have to check off. You go tick, 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 tick by scanning to identify that you have what you need to see. And then at the end of the process, you hit submit, and then that takes you back to the dashboard, which tells you where you are in terms of verification.
Okay, so what's happening here is that this is a real-time dashboard which is telling you whether things have been done, and then finally we've got the let's do the next bit. The manager's dashboard, which is telling them, oh, they've uploaded that, or we've got to here, they've accepted that. And finally, this is what we did to get our space information together. We had the Tango, which is that Tango model, which we did in this space. That's also tested it out as what it would be like with an iPhone, capturing it from an iPhone. And then we produced a Reddit model from that, and etc. And that's the Reddit model. And finally, we have run out of time, but there's our model, IFC model. And inside that model, we can actually retrofit the objects in the database back to the model. I think that is all. Okay.
That's quite a lot.